Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2, the comeback victory completed. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. I was just saying to you then before we went live, I thought United played all right today. How did you think they played?
Yeah, you're wrong. No, it wasn't a good performance. And I know you're going to say, well, we created lots of chances and we dominated the game. We did dominate the game. But the reason we dominated the game is because we went 2-0 down in 4 minutes, Joe.
We definitely did go 2-0 down in 4 minutes. Talk to me about that then, because I'll get into some of the specifics and exactly what you just said there. But just first of all, United 2-0 down after 4 minutes. What went into that? Why did that happen? Was it a bit of bad luck? Was it terrible from United? What were your thoughts 4 minutes into the game? Where was your head at that point?
I don't think you can call it luck. I think you can call it not doing your job.
Okay.
Get set plays. One, we're attacking. Allowing a shot from our corner is mental. The fact that he went in is fucking tragically disappointing. Then conceding from a corner, but moments later, I thought the game went as expected from that moment. I didn't expect to be 2-0 down in the first 2 minutes or 4 minutes. So the game went as very much I'd expected to be. There's no way Steve Cooper tries to get a third. Steve Cooper goes, this is job done. Like, sweet. Like, he wouldn't have in his wildest dreams thought about scoring 2 goals at Old Trafford. He's got them inside 4 minutes. Now it's a case of, can I shut up shop and deny United? It's United without a recognised first-choice striker on the pitch. I think Tony Martial obviously is somebody that's proven his fitness. Clearly not the first-choice striker at United. None of our forwards have scored so far this season, and that's still the case by the end of today's game. He would be thinking, I can hold on here. I can at least get a point out of this, if not all 3. So he did exactly what we all expected him to. 5-4-1, get everybody behind the ball, waste time, fuck about. And then what did United do? Well, yeah, United are going to start playing football in their half. They're going to try and hold possession. They're going to try and switch it left to right, right to left. They're going to try and pull them around all over the place. And they was always going to get chances, which they got. Now, if we'd have scored some of the 3-yard out chances that we had, the scoreline might have been a little bit more favourable to us, and it might have been a little less, nut tightening in the last 5 minutes, the way, or 10, 11 minutes, the way it was. But I can't agree it was a good performance. It was a dominating performance, yeah, but Forest didn't try to make it a contest after the first 4 minutes until injury time. So Forest were literally trying to play for a draw. That we got our noses in front, and they was like, "Oh shit, we better try and get something out of the game again now." And United held on for it. So I can't agree it was a good performance. It was a great comeback, and we did well to score 3 goals because, scoring 3 goals in any Premier League game to try and get a win is asking a lot. But we did that, and I think there's some positives to take out of that. But I can't agree that we played well.
So you agree that we had a lot of the ball and made a lot of chances and did good things with the ball, but so if we're giving, we're not giving United credit for creating chances and having the ball because sort of Forest let us, are we then criticising Forest for conceding 3 goals? Because if their plan didn't go to plan in the end, did it? United's did. So there has to be some level of credit for getting your plan to be the one that won in the end, surely.
You're making it far too black and white in the situation. United were always going to make chances once Forest decided to set off. Were we clinical in our chances? Not really. Could we have created more chances? Absolutely. Like, when you look at some of the play and some of the decisions from United, it wasn't mind-blowingly good. We got the job done. You give them credit for getting the job done. You say, well done, good attitude, and well done on getting the job done, because we played great and lost before. We've had results that we didn't deserve in the past. I thought we were good enough to deserve to get our noses in front and keep hold of the 3 points today, but I can't agree that we played well. You can't look at the way the first 2 goals go in, and no matter what happens pretty much in the rest of the game, think that that's playing well. There were chances created, yeah, but there wasn't sort of consistent chance creation. There still wasn't good performances within the performance, if you know what I mean. Like, it was still under par from, Anthony Martial played, but fucking did it, right? Marcus Rashford played, but did he? Anthony played, but was he a threat? Do you know what I mean? Like there was players playing, but were they playing well? Casemiro played, but did he? I thought the best players for United were Varane, who went off at half time, and I still don't know why. Martinez, maybe Wan-Bissaka, Dalot with the ball, and there was some tenacious tackling from him off the ball on the counter. But and there was actually some tactically interesting stuff happening with Dalot, the way he was coming in to receive the ball in the centre of the pitch, and then getting us forward. But then when we get transitioned on, he's fucking still on the right wing, and there's nobody in his spot. So, I don't think it's as binary as, well, we won and we created chances, therefore it's a good performance. No. Like, there's levels to this. Like, if you want to be talking about trying to compete for the title, whether that's realistic or not this year, that's the aim. Like, we're fucking miles off it. That's not an acceptable level of performance. Yes, well done getting the win. Not an acceptable level of performance.
So what would you like to see differently between this week and next week then? Because obviously we've got Arsenal, who drew today against Fulham. But I didn't see the game because obviously United were playing at the same time. Seemingly relatively unlucky, but a draw's a draw. They've dropped 2 points. They're a point ahead of us. What needs to change between this performance and the next one? And second to that, is it at least somewhat helpful that United made chances, score goals today? Because we had no sort of practice in doing that whatsoever. United have struggled to score all pre-season, struggled to score so far. At least having those chances and getting the ball in the box and having shots, is that something that they can hopefully build off for next week?
No, not really. The manner of the victory today, do you think today's going to look anything like what the Emirates will look like next week? You're off your nut. Like, the only thing you can take of is, well fucking done. You've shown great attitude and resilience to be able to come back from 2-0 down, because that's a very difficult scoreline to come back from and get a win. Yeah. That's it. There was sloppiness with the ball. There was a bit of a lack of movement. Okay, I mean, it's very, very difficult playing against the back five, because you're going to really struggle to overload it. And everything about the way Ten Hag wants us to play is about trying to overload the opposition. And you're not going to overload an opposition that's sitting in a low block. So when someone's sitting in a low block, then you've got to start, can you go one touch? Can you get wide triangles? Can you try and stretch them across the back line? Can you find penetration with reverse balls and movement? And there wasn't a whole lot of that. Not for extended periods of time. There was extended bits of pressure, but there wasn't extended periods of like real quality from United where you go, this will result in a goal. We didn't play through the thirds very well. We kind of got it forward quite quickly. Again, a little bit of a consequence of us playing against a team that's just fucking sitting on a low block. We didn't really play out very well. There's so much fucking wrong with that performance. Like I said, go back to it. Yeah, well done. You got the 3 points, but I'm going to pick so many. Put it this way. If I'm Erik Ten Hag, tomorrow morning, me and the analysts are going over that, and there's going to be way more fucking red marker over stuff than green. Like, yeah, that was all right. This though, dealing with corners, this though. You think Arsenal can't transition better than Nottingham Forest? You've got to fix that shit, because they put us under so much pressure on the transition. Like, if you don't fix that ahead of next week, and yes, different circumstances, you maybe don't commit as many men forward because you're not chasing the game in the same manner. They're probably not going to be as deep because they're probably not protecting a lead the same way, or certainly with the same sort of vigor that Nottingham Forest did. But there's so many problems in that team still, and we're so wasteful when we do have good opportunities. You've got to be 4 or 5 gears better, I think, to get 3 points at the Emirates next week.
So would you say that then, if you were Steve Cooper, if you were in the dugout for Forest, would you have said to them, keep attacking, don't sit back? Because in the end, that cost them the game then, didn't it? If you think that when they were trying to attack us, it worked, and when they stopped, we scored 3 goals. Should they have done something different?
On one hand, yes. On the other hand, no, because 2-0 is a good cushion. It is. It's a good cushion. Maybe at 1. I certainly understood. Me personally, no. But I've lost leads, and I don't manage in the Premier League, probably for a reason. So, me personally, no. I keep going. But also, you got to look at the reality of the situation. Is you're at Old Trafford, you're 4-0 up, or 2-0 up, sorry, in 4 minutes. knowing the sort of stats for the Premier League, I reckon you're looking at probably 98% chance of winning a game at 2-0 up. Although, does that still work 4 minutes into a fucking game? You got 86 minutes plus injury time to play for? Maybe not. So, I think what you got to do is probably a little bit of what he did do. You got to slow the game down, maybe a little bit more tactical with some of the fouls. I don't think they put United under the sort of pressure that they could have done once they got that 2-0 up. I don't think you go as full with the low block, because then I think when you play a 3-4-3, it very easily transitions into a back five. But maybe leave 2 up, maybe leave 3 up and defend with 7, because that way United can't fully attack with the fullbacks. And it was the use of the fullbacks doubling up with the wingers, which is where United was finding people in space and being able to get the 2 touches off. We didn't really play through the middle of the park. So the way United were being dangerous was playing through our fullbacks. Now, because they use wingbacks and centre-halves, because you've got a back 3, they can probably go out and deal with what they need to deal with. We didn't push everybody through the centre. So your midfield and your other 2 centre-halves can deal with the likes of Bruno or Casemiro pushing on and getting into the final third. You've still got numerical advantage, especially if the fullback on the other side tucks in and helps out to go +1 against the opposition striker. Which means that if you leave 3 forward, basically, like if you're United and I'm Forest, I leave my 3 forward and I'm playing up against Varane and Martinez. United are going to have to pull one of the fullbacks, if not both of the fullbacks, back to maintain +1 on that back line. And if they don't, you're only a dosh up the pitch away from a foot race against Martinez and Varane, where you've overloaded them. And that's fucking dangerous. So I think maybe instead of just leaving the striker, you maybe throw the 2 wider lads forward as well and try and make United think. And you can defend with 7. Like 7, with the depth that they were defending on, you might have had a bit more of a chance, because a third would have seen us right off. It was hard enough for us to score 3. If they'd have got a third, I don't know if we would have. They might have thrown a kitchen sink at it then, and then you never know. That might even lead to more opportunities and more mistakes. And they've shown that, especially when you play 3 versus 2, if you're just fucking twatting it up, I'd be telling the lads to have loose shots, get a corner. Just fucking shoot from anywhere, make Onana save it. As long as it's on target, he's going to save it. If it's hard enough, he's going to turn it around the post. We've got a fucking corner, and they're clearly shit at corners. So let's just keep doing that. And you never know what you're going to get from that. And you can take your time. You can take a couple of bookings and see how it goes.
Looking back, I know you sort of mentioned it already, but looking to next week then, what do we need to change? Is it possible that it can be changed? I know obviously we could get a result, Fulham got a result against Arsenal today, so you don't have to be better than them to get points. But what do you see over the next few weeks from United? Is this international break almost like just get it here now so we can have another 2 weeks to fix things? Because you don't seem confident, optimistic, happy at the minute.
Joe, I've watched us play 3 matches.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's watched us play 3 matches is telling you that we're going to the Emirates next week and going to put it on Arsenal. No. Now, previously, I could have said that, but not at the moment. The form we're in at the moment, there's too many players not performing. Marcus getting over to the left-hand side, I was excited for that. Yes, finally going to see Marcus. There was opportunities for Marcus to stretch his legs, to put the defence on the back foot, and for whatever reason, he didn't do that. He really didn't do that. How many times did he go past his man? Maybe 1 when he drew the penalty. And I actually thought it was a penalty from where I am, but I'm seeing a lot of people upset about that.
He did.
Was it a penalty?
I thought it was a penalty. He clipped him. He went past his man, obviously, for the Eriksen goal, knocked it, and then squared it, didn't he? I know he didn't go all the way around him, but he got past him to get the ball in for the assist. But, yeah, it wasn't constant by any means.
So, Rashford's got to find another gear, because he can hurt teams. Certainly when they play on the halfway line, we didn't really get that today with Forest because of the circumstances of those first 4 minutes. Arsenal might have a bit more luck. I mean, the way I believe they played Thomas Partey right back today. If they do, they're mental. because that's a possible outlet for United, right? If they continue this Kai Havertz experiment, probably a little bit more excited about it. But what's United's combative midfield to go into that game? Because Casemiro on his own ain't going to cut it. He clearly doesn't trust McTominay. Yes, he came on towards the end of the game today, but are you looking at that going match winner? Who's going to play up front? You're asking Tony Marshall probably to start 2 games in a week. Am I a betting man? I probably wouldn't be saying he'll pick up a knock in the week. He won't be fucking fit for that. Is Højlund going to be ready? That's mental. If you're going to throw that in as his first match, he's clearly going to just get shunted away to the other side of the international break if anyone's got any brains about him. Anthony's not fucking performing. Sancho can't get into the team. He's not giving Palestra, etc. a go. You probably want Luke Shaw back in over Dalot from a defensive point of view next week. What's going on with Varane? Is he injured?
Well, Luke Shaw's out for 3 months, isn't he?
Marks.
Possibly out for 3 months. Luke Shaw might be out for 3 months, apparently. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not being negative. I'm being fucking real. You can't tell me that going to the Emirates next week, you're confident of a fucking result, because I ain't.
No. I personally am not either, but I do think there's obviously always a chance. And I was slightly more positive about the performance today. I get your points, and if Forest hadn't have sat back, United might not have been able to make those chances, but they did. So I thought United still looked better than we have. I wouldn't say it's been, title challenging form by any chance, but I thought it looked slightly better than we've seen so far this season, which is certainly something. But like I said, probably not enough, and hopefully the international break can roll around and we have a bit of a rejig and start the other side of it with a fully fit Højlund and a couple of others coming back to form. But that's me being optimistic, Steve, and hopefully I can still feel the ability to be slightly optimistic after Arsenal next week. But that is going to be all from us. Thank you for coming on.
West Ham are above us on the table, by the way.
Yeah, but that's good because it means that Brighton aren't winning all the time, so swings and roundabouts, isn't it? That's what I mean. Positive. I look at the positives of these things. Brighton, get down there. Anyway, that's going to be all from us. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining at home. Get your thoughts in the comments below as well, and we'll see you in a bit.